What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Hopefully everyone is doing well, staying safe, healthy. If you had taken a COVID test, hopefully you have tested negative. If you did test positive for COVID, flu, or any other virus, I hope you have a full and speedy recovery with no long-term and no long COVID issues if it is COVID. It is time now for the Monday edition of the Virus Update for Monday, December 23rd, 2024. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. This is where we talk about all those viruses that can make us sick. COVID, flu, norovirus, RSV, and others are really making the rounds right now. A lot of people are getting sick. You may hear it in my voice. Yeah, I'm dealing with something myself all of a sudden. I was having a bad day for my asthma on Saturday. Took a COVID test, came up negative, and it was actually one of those combo tests. So it was negative for COVID, flu A, and flu B. Yesterday, fine. Today, I woke up, listen to my voice. My voice is not doing well. There is another household member who is sick from travel. So, I don't know. There's a lot of viruses going around. We got neighbors sick in the area. A lot of people are sick right now. You need to be informed with what's going on with these viruses. Want to stay informed? Subscribe to my channel down below. Give this a thumbs up if you like the video. If you don't, that's okay too. Hopefully you can put up with my voice today. Of course, share this video with anyone you know. Leave your comments down below. And remember to hit that notification bell. Alright, speaking of people being sick, someone is really sick in Louisiana. We're talking about that H5N1 case. And apparently that H5N1 case is in critical condition now. So this is not good. Repeating, this is the first patient in critical condition. I think we may have reported on this on Friday. If not, we're getting to it again. I saw it showed up on X as one of the things that was actually trending, and they give you this little brief description about it. And unfortunately, this is the first case, and I suspect it will not be the last severe case of bird flu. All right, New Mexico. We never give enough attention to it, and we should be giving more attention than ever to it right now because New Mexico currently is one of the worst states in the country when it comes to COVID at the moment. Your wastewater levels, take a look at this. This is from Michael Olson. Hope I said that correctly. Yeah, look at this brown here, this brownish, orangish brown color. That is wastewater. The wastewater levels in New Mexico are just pretty much off the charts right now. Really high. So if you are in New Mexico, please be taking this very seriously. Your COVID rates, your positivity rates, everything is just really high right now. And your positivity rate, which it does not look like that updated in a while, but yeah, things are not doing well there. Wastewater in particular. Moving on now to our next story. British backpackers hospitalized after norovirus at a holiday hotspot. This is over in Thailand. Yep, norovirus, we've been talking about that one. It's been going around quite a bit lately. And get this, SARS-CoV-2 increases the risk of new onset dementia in older adults by 58% with a 12-month follow-up. The findings from a meta-analysis of 11 studies of 939,824 post-COVID points. So, yeah, this is a lot of people. And a lot of people within these studies and patients. So, yeah, this is not a good thing. But, you know what? It just confirms something we're already knowing. And the more confirmation we're getting about this, the more we can hopefully see people put the pieces together. And even more importantly, doctors put the pieces together. Because let's face it, there's still a lot of doctors out there that are saying, well, this doesn't cause COVID, that doesn't happen from COVID, this doesn't happen from COVID. Yeah, this and that and a whole bunch of things now can be from COVID. You know, long COVID, there can be 150 to 200 different symptoms. Yeah, bet you did not know that. All right, moving on to this. Lingering symptoms of COVID-19 detected among 20% of people in Brazil. All these studies will make it to my site. I'm going to have a day later this week during this holiday period. I'm off until the beginning of the new year now. I'm going to have a day where I just do nothing but just add studies to the site. I'm serious. I'm going to probably maybe add 50 new studies over these next couple weeks. Maybe some of them new, some of them from the past, but I'm telling you, there is a lot of studies coming out that are just showing how bad COVID can be. All right, moving on now to a COVID wastewater viral activity level for the United States. This is from December 8th through December 14th, but I think it does give a good idea of what's going on, and really probably the only change with this would be if it was a little more up to date. Some places may actually be higher. All right, we do have some places listed at very high. New Mexico, Kansas, South Dakota is listed at very high, but it also has itself shaded, which means limited coverage. Same deal goes for Missouri, limited coverage. And take a look at this. New Hampshire is coming in at very high levels at this time. We're also seeing high levels now in Maine, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Ohio. Good chance that on next update, Ohio goes to very high because their increases in COVID cases are getting more significant. Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, and also we're seeing Montana and Wyoming are both coming in with moderate to high levels at this point. We're also now seeing Florida, which is still in low, Texas still in low, California is still in low, and those are some big populated states. So good to see they haven't gone up yet, but give it time. They will also probably at least get to moderate during this wave. So some wastewater activity level, though be it not the most up to date. I wish everything was more up to date, but it is not. Northern Nevada Public Health is reporting the first flu associated death of the current flu season. And this is from a woman in her 90s who was living with underlying health conditions. All right, moving up to Canada, British Columbia, respiratory illness on the rise as British Columbia residents begin busy holiday season. Yeah, British Columbia people are dealing with illness there as well. And let's refresh the viral activity levels for Canada. It says the viral activity level for COVID-19 is moderate. Flu A is moderate at this time. Flu B is low, and RSV still comes in at high in Canada at this time. Now for your reminder that I do have a website. It's a forum type website. Anybody can post. It is datareport.info, and it has a whole bunch of information on COVID and other viruses. I actually have a whole section just dedicated to COVID studies. Remember, I mentioned a little bit ago, I'm going to try and add a whole bunch of them. I don't know if it actually will be 50, but I'm going to be adding a ton of studies to these archives over the next week or two, and who knows, I may start an archive just for other viruses as well, because studies do get posted about those viruses as well. It'll probably just be a one for all section, and then maybe down the line, it does get categorized like everything else does. You want to know if someone had COVID, a celebrity? I do have a section for that as well. And of course, anybody can join in on the conversation. And I'll tell you what, a couple more people have been starting to do so. Thank you so much. Let's continue to grow that conversation. Taking a look at what is going on with air quality levels for today, and you'll see there are still some problem spots in the west, and you may also notice a few issues in the Great Lakes as well. There is a weather system moving through that area. Want to learn more about the weather and climate? You can do that over on my other YouTube channel, Climate Data Report. Not sure if I'm doing an update there this evening. I would like to. Depends on if I have time. I do want to get something out there because there is a winter storm that is beginning to make its way towards the northeast. It's in the Great Lakes right now. And there's also a very stormy pattern in the Pacific Northwest. Two things that really do need some attention as we head into the Christmas holiday. In Philadelphia, on Saturday, there were 797 EMS incidents, and on Sunday, it was 767 EMS incidents. Taking a live look in at Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, shows things are not going too well at the moment. 15 EMS calls, but you see me say higher. Why am I saying things are not going too well? Well, take a look at this. Wow. I don't know that we've seen this during the virus update before, or at least, wow, yeah. Cardiac arrest, not once. Cardiac arrest, not twice. Cardiac arrest, 3 times at once. That is really bad. 3 different townships in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. dealing with cardiac arrest right now. That is really bad. We have seen where there's cardiac arrest there and over in Chester County as well. There were several respiratory emergency calls earlier in Chester County. At one point, I counted 6 at a time, plus sick person calls. Right now, it's just down to 1, but there are quite a few different calls. It has been rather steady. I won't say it's been really busy, but it's been rather steady today in Chester County. Taking a look at the hospital situation in Pennsylvania, there are a few hospitals showing up yellow. That means they are busy. St. Luke's, what was that? St. Luke's, Anderson, up in the Lehigh Valley. Emergency department overcrowding. It is at capacity. That seems to be a theme at some hospitals in Pennsylvania. And good news in New Jersey today. All the hospitals are normal at this time. We'll see if that remains the case post. I almost said Thanksgiving. Post Christmas. We had Thanksgiving already. Taking a look now at Walgreens, we do have the weekly update here, and the national positivity trend is 15.5% for COVID. That's up by 0.3%. The prior week was 15.2%. And there was a pretty big increase in the number of people that got tested. 6,934 versus 5,399. That's a pretty big increase. And let's take a look at some of those states that did have the increase in testing. Pennsylvania, yeah, it went up slightly, but the positivity rate went up. We're going to look at states that had some significant positivity rate increases as well. Pennsylvania, 21.6% positivity rate for COVID. That is up by 5.2%. 74 versus 67 total test. Florida did have an increase in testing. Pretty big one, too. 755 versus 598. That allowed for the positivity rate to go down. Why? Well, because in that state, COVID positivity rates are not rising all that fast. COVID cases are not rising all that fast at this time. Therefore, the increase in testing allowed for the positivity rate to drop. In the state of Texas, well, not as good news. The positivity rate is 8.7%. The prior week was 8.1%. That's a difference of up 0.6%. Total test, 1,150 versus 947. Yes, big increase in testing, and yet the positivity rate still went up. In California, the positivity rate is 13.4%. The prior week is 9.9%. Difference of up 3.6%. Now, let me explain something here. Total test, 246 versus 203. Yeah, testing went up. California is a really big state. California is also a Democrat state. I hate to get political, but think about this for a second. California, a Democrat state. Texas, a Republican state, also big. California is really big as well. Texas did way more testing than California. Multiple times more testing. Sometimes, I just got to say, make it make sense. Taking a look now at Kansas. 27.2% positivity rate. The prior week was 19.3%. That is up by 7.9%. Testing, you're not doing enough. It's up, though. 92 versus 57. Illinois. Here we saw an increase in testing and an increase in the positivity rate. 21.9% versus 21.1%. That is up by 0.8%. Total tests, 488 versus 403. We got to take a look at Washington State, because that's a state that we thought would be one of the last to start rising, and, well, it has started rising now, despite that prolonged summer wave that really continued into the first part of fall. 13.5% positivity rate, 11.3% last week. That's up by 2.2%. 89 tests versus 53. And while we're at it, Oregon continues to drop, but Oregon didn't report. 0.0%, which 26 versus 22 tests. Now, 0 people tested positive. Okay, I would like to think you probably do have at least some cases in your state. Ohio, this is problematic. We've been watching Ohio State get worse, and they're doing so rather quickly. The positivity rate is 26.4%. The prior week is 18.3%. Difference of up 8%. Total test, 148 versus 120. So, yeah, things are continuing to get worse in Ohio. And let's end on a good note. Your neighbor, Kentucky, is 15.5% positivity rate. 20% last week. That's down by 4.5%. Your cases are not rising enough to push this higher. 103 total tests versus 55. So that is some good news there. Now, we just mentioned Ohio. I think we're going to take a look at some Ohio wastewater in a second. But first, Stamford, Connecticut. Take a look at this. Now, mind you, I need to start giving a disclaimer when I show wastewater scan on Monday. There used to be a time I sometimes would not show it on a Monday, but given we are oh so close to Christmas, I think you need to see this, whether it needs to be corrected or not. Take a look at this. Stamford, Connecticut. The wastewater. And it's rapidly rising. Now, this is going to correct lower for COVID. It's going to correct lower for anything that has a wonky movement. But even at that, there have been multiple updates now that say COVID is rapidly rising. And it's already listed at high at this time. RSV is also listed at high and continuing to rise. Influenza A is listed at high at this time. Influenza B is still low, but it is rising. HMPV is low. And wow, your norovirus level is really high at this point. No issues with the other viruses at this time. All right, let's take a look near Akron, Ohio. I want to know what is going on there. Whoa, your COVID level has absolutely skyrocketed since mid-November. So this confirms everything we have seen, and that overall wastewater chart, that's going to eventually probably go to very high at some point before this wave ends. RSV is coming in at high. That continues to rise. Influenza A is starting to see a rapid rise. That is very high. Influenza B is low. HMPV is low. Wow, even if you remove the wonky movement for norovirus, multiple updates have taken it extremely high. There is a big norovirus problem here in the United States right now. That is oh so concerning at this time to see it rising that fast. Let's go out to the west. We will go and take a look. How about we take a look at what's going on in Salt Lake City, Utah at this time. In Salt Lake City, we are seeing the COVID levels come up at medium. RSV is listed at high. Influenza A is listed at high. That is continuing to rise. Influenza B is low, but starting to rise. And norovirus, it is coming in at high this time. Other wastewater sites would say medium for that similar level. So I don't know why they're saying that. And everything else is not much of an issue at this time. Let's also take a look in California, shall we? Let's go up to... Can we do Oakland? No, we can't. Let's do the eastern San Francisco wastewater site. And we do see here COVID is starting to rise. RSV is still listed at low. Influenza A is still high, though it has dropped some. Influenza B is dropping slightly. HMPV is dropping slightly. And norovirus is listed at high at this time. And it does look like it may be peaking, which is some good news. There was some Mpox back in October and some hepatitis back in early November, late October. All right, to be fair, let's also go down to the southern U.S. and see what's going on there. How about we take a look at Tallahassee, Florida? I'm curious, is COVID rising there yet? Not really rising all that much. In fact, it's still bouncing off the bottom. It may be starting to rise soon. RSV was very high, and now it's starting to drop slightly. Influenza A was rising, now it's dropping slightly. Influenza B and HMPV low. Norovirus is listed at high at this time. All right, ending today on New York State. 892 people tested positive on the most recent update. And taking a look at the hospitalizations in New York State, and we do see they now have 584 people hospitalized. The ICU, they have 60 people in the ICU. I do not know if this dashboard is going to update tomorrow or not. We know it's not going to update on Christmas Day. I wish it would update tomorrow because I got a feeling they're probably going to jump over 600 hospitalizations. If it doesn't update tomorrow, probably Thursday or Friday. I would think Friday would be the next day. Their open data portal probably will update. Alrighty, folks, that does it for today's virus update. Catch me over on my other channel, Climate Data Report. I don't know if I'm doing anything there. Can my voice withstand doing another video? Maybe I'll drink some water or something. If not, we'll do another video there some other time. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, hit that notification bell, share this video with anyone you know, and leave your comments down below. I will see everyone again tomorrow, as long as my voice is not any worse. Until I see you again next time, stay safe, everyone. Have a fantastic Monday evening. And if I don't see you for the rest of the week, because maybe you don't get to see any of my videos, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Thanks for watching.